sparking renewed fears of a North American trade war that's already showing signs of pushing up inflation and hindering growth. Donald Trump says the US will be applying a 25% tariff on imports from Canada and Mexico from midnight. He says the levies are aimed at forcing the two US neighbours to step up their fight against drug trafficking and illegal immigration. Well, for the very latest, let's cross live now to our correspondent. Christopher Guly is standing by for us in Ottawa. Christopher, this has been coming for a while now. It's not a surprise. Were people there hoping for another last-minute reprieve, do you think, from Donald Trump, or are they resigned to the inevitable at this stage? What's the reaction been?
Oh, I think it's resignation at this point. Remember, about 30 days ago, Donald Trump announced the tariffs, and later that day, Canada responded in kind in two phases, one over a week and then a rollout about 10 days later of stiffer tariffs, almost tit for tat, targeting key Republican states like Kentucky, Bourbon, and Florida for orange juice. And then the president announced that they were on hold. So there's been a constant back and forth across the border with Canadian officials trying to convince members of the Trump administration to hold off. Concessions were made on border security. Canada appointed a border czar to address Trump's concerns over fentanyl crossing, which of course represents a minuscule amount of that drug crossing into the U.S. Most of it is coming from Mexico, but it seems to have had absolutely no effect.
And the Canadian Foreign Minister, I see that they've been issuing a warning saying that these levies, they're describing them as an existential threat to Canada. What impact specifically will these tariffs have, Christopher?
Well, it'll be devastating on both sides of the border. Of course, the U.S. has been Canada's largest trading partner, so now Canada has to look further afield for other trading partners. At the moment, there's a push to drop barriers within Canada, internal trade. So right now, for some reason, there are restrictions from crossing from province to province. And right now there's a push with all the premiers of the 10 provinces and 3 territories to dismantle all of those barriers. It is an existential threat because on top of that, Trump has been talking about annexing Canada since he took office. So the whole 51st state issue is alive. He talked about economic warfare. Well, here we are as of midnight tonight.
And how exactly have businesses or ordinary people been preparing, Christopher?
There's been a huge push for Made in Canada, Buy Canada, to boycott U.S. goods, to boycott traveling to the U.S., whether for business or recreational purposes. I think what Donald Trump has done inadvertently has emboldened Canadian patriotism that I've never seen in my lifetime, this fierce sense of nationalism.
Christopher, we'll leave it there for now. Thanks so much for joining us with that. That is Christopher Guly joining us from Ottawa as Canada prepares for those tariffs to be imposed from midnight local time. Well, days after their